Right, let's do another mix where I seriously limit myself. Let's dig in. So a few weeks ago I did a video where I did a mix with only 2 plugins in 1 hour, and it was really interesting. So this time I'm going to do a similar exercise where I'm going to do a mix where I've got more tools but still limited. As I said in my last video, I was really missing some of the tools that I rely on, so I decided to try and take this up a notch. I still really want to limit myself, particularly on time and tools. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a mix using 1 plugin from each family of plugins. So I'm going to have 1 channel strip, 1 EQ, 1 compressor, 1 harmonic processor, 1 reverb and 1 delay. So what did I choose? Well, for my channel strip, I went with the API channel strip, so I didn't want to use any of the same plugins I used in the last video. For my EQ, I went with the AMEK 250. And the interesting thing about that is it also gives me a stereo width control. For a compressor, I used the Distressor, which as we all know is super versatile. For my harmonic processor, I went with the Decapitator by Soundtoys. My reverb comes from the UAD Lexicon 244. And my delay is the Echo Boy Jr. by Soundtoys. And as a wild card, I'm putting in Slate's Trigger because I really love using samples on drums. Like last time, I'm going to do the mix in under an hour. Let's see how I got on.
Yourself off yet. It's only in your head you feel let down or look down on. Just try your best, try everything you can, and don't you worry what they tell themselves when you're away. It just takes some time, little girl, you're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be alright. Hey, you know they're all the same. You know you're doing better on your own. So don't buy it. Live right now. Yeah, just be yourself. It doesn't matter if it's good enough for someone else. It just takes some time, little girl, you're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be alright. It just takes some time, little girl, you're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. Hey! Hey, don't write yourself off yet. It's only in your head you feel left down or look down on. Just do your best, do everything you can, and don't you worry what their bitter hearts are gonna say. It just takes some time, little girl, you're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be alright. It just takes some time, little girl, you're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be alright.
So what did you think? For me, that was a much better mix. Having some of the tools that I really use all the time was so much better. So why don't we have a delve into what it is that I did? Okay, so let's start looking at our master bus. So I've got a Distressor, my only compressor. I didn't like this as much as I hoped I would, if I'm honest. Let's have a listen to it without.
When you're away, it just takes some time, little girl, you're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be alright.
Definitely adding something, but it's not got the glue that I'd normally look for, but I'm still glad to have it if I'm honest. And then after that, I've got this brilliant EQ here. A little bit of a shelf at 11K and another shelf at 40, just adding a little bit of low and a little bit of high. Let's toggle it off and on.
When you're away, it just takes some time. Little till you ring a bell left and right. Everything will be just fine.
Yeah, love that. And the other thing that I'm using this one for is the stereo width. It's just making it a bit wider. Okay, so let's look at our drums. I'll solo the drums out. So I've got a distressor on the drum bus with a little bit of distortion added as well. Let's take it off. Really good, really good. I do like a distressor on my drum bus. My preference is the API 2500, but this is my second choice, definitely. And then after that, I've got an API EQ, so add in a bit of 10K, and that is it, really. Yeah, I love this. I use this a lot actually, and it's just really adding so much presence and vibe. I really love it. Okay, so kick drum. I've got trigger. So I really missed having samples, and all I've got is just 20%, so not very much at all of this sample here, which is just adding a bit of extra definition. After that, I've got API, of course, a little bit of a kind of a boost there in the highs to get a little bit more sort of aggression, a little bit of the low mids out, and again, that's it, nothing much. And then this I really love, the distressor on the kick drum with the attack super slow and the release super fast. It really adds so much. Really brings out the lows, which is fantastic. Moving on to the snare. So 3 samples going here, and again, only at 29% mix. The first one is this. So lots of room, sort of reverby sort of sound in that. A little bit of white noise, and then this Andy Sneap sample. Adding a little bit of snap. After that, API again, obviously. A little bit of 1K out, a little bit of a shelf at 10K, a little bit of a boost at 200. Nothing too much. Then Decapitator. Thank God I got some harmonic distortion in this. But not an awful lot going on with the mix. Just enough to kind of add a little bit of something. And then a distressor just to kind of hold it in place. Let's take these 3 off. And then it's adding loads. That's great. The snare bottom, just a little bit of a high shelf, a little bit of mids out, nothing much. And then on the toms, I ended up using quite a lot of samples. I wasn't massively into the sound of the original toms, so I used a sample that I created myself from a session, which sounds way nicer. And then all I did was just a little bit of a high shelf, a little bit of mids out, a little bit of low end, nothing much. Same on both of them, just to kind of bring them out. And then hats has just got a little bit of EQ, and my overheads have got, again, a little bit of EQ and a touch of compression just to hold that together. So let's take out everything on the drums. Now there's a little bit of flamming because trigger creates that when it's bypassed. Yeah, that's brilliant. And then, as usual, I've got my parallel compression with the distressor. Love this, pretty aggressive at a 6-1. Fast attack and slower release just to add a bit of length to it. Let's start with it off. And now on. Yeah, really adds a lot to that. Moving on, bass guitar next. So a bit of decapitator just to add a little bit of extra vibe, bit of channel EQ, and a bit of compression. The compression I'm hitting pretty hard, really try to hold it in place. Fast attack, slower release just to kind of really lock it down. A little bit of distortion there as well. So let's just listen to it without anything. And now with. And the big thing is that like you can really hear that distortion, and that's brilliant because it's helping lift it out. Right, next up is my guitar. So I pulled a fast one here. I used Echo Boy Jr. to basically get some stereo width. I was struggling to have a mono guitar, and this was just a kind of hack to kind of get a bit of width out of it. So I just used this preset here, which is the Studio Slap Wide. I reduced the echo time and adjusted the mix to taste. So let's start with it off. Brilliant. That really made that feel a lot more sort of like wide, a bit more three-dimensional as well. Then I used a bit of EQ, nothing too major going on here. A little bit of a kind of brightness at 5K, a little bit warmer in the mids, and a little bit of weight added to it, and then a touch of compression just to kind of bring it out a little bit. And that is it. And without it, it sounds like this. And then with it. Brilliant. Okay, acoustic guitars next. So again, used the Echo Boy to make it a bit wider, but I brought the panning in a little bit so that it was a bit separate from the main electric guitar. Bit of decapitator just to kind of make it a bit more vibey, and then a bit of EQ, and that's it. Really didn't do much with that at all. So let's take everything off. And then on. And again, it's a DI'd acoustic, so it's not the nicest sounding source, but it's a layer. It's only really there to be a bit percussive and in the background. Then we have the keys. So again, Echo Boy just to make it a bit wider, decapitator to give it a bit of vibe, and then a little bit of EQ. Added a little bit of mid-range, a little bit of high shelf just to make it sparkle a bit, and that is it. So let's turn everything off. And then on. And again, very much a layer rather than a feature, and I panned it ever so slightly differently. Okay, vocals. Started with a distressor, moved that to nuke, so I really hit this hard, added a little bit of the harmonic distortion circuit, and then of course a bit of EQ. So a lot of 20k here, trying to give it a bit of shine, a bit of 5k to make it poke, bit of mid-range, and I took out some of the lower register just to kind of clean it up a little bit. So let's start with it off.
Hey, don't write yourself off yet. It's only in your head you feel left out.
And then on.
Hey, don't write yourself off yet. It's only in your head you feel left out.
So that's massive. Now again, like I said in the first video, this was recorded with a live microphone because it was a live session. So it's not a studio condenser, it's a bog standard Sennheiser dynamic mic. So the source isn't as kind of like high quality as it normally would be in a studio session, but like I really feel that this 20k really helped that. It gave it that sheen that I was missing. And then backing vocals are very similar. I've got a distressor on it, hit it pretty hard, bit of harmonic distortion, and then a bit of EQ. It's different from the other one, and that's that. Easy. Okay, let's look at the reverbs. So for my room, I have a Lexicon 224, and it's a drum crunch room, which I really liked. Let's listen to that with the drums. So it just adds a little something. It's pretty subtle. Then I have another Lexicon. It's a plate this time, and pretty short for the vocals. We'll have a wee listen.
Take some time, little girl, you're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be all.
And on both of these, I did use a little bit of EQing, mostly just high pass and low passes. Try to do the Abbey Road trick on the vocal one here. And then I have a delay, which is the Echo Boy. Again, that kind of slap delay thing, just trying to just add a little extra dimension. So let's have a wee listen to that.
Take some time, little girl, you're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be alright.
So again, super subtle, but it works. So again, let's turn everything off.
Hey, to write yourself off, yeah. It's only in your head you're feeling down. Or look down on. Just try your best. Try everything you can. And don't you worry what they tell themselves when you're away. It just
So yeah, that is absolutely mega this time. I definitely had a lot more fun with this mix, and I'm definitely way more happy with it. All right, I hope you found that interesting. Definitely some cool stuff in there. I really enjoyed having more toys to play with, and I think the mix came out better as a result. But of course, let's do a comparison of the first mix and the mix I just did. So the first mix, as you remember, will be 2 plugins, which was the SSL channel strip and the Seventh Heaven Professional Reverb plugin. And the second mix is the mix that I've just done using the 7 plugins, one from every family. Let's check it out.
hey, you know they're all the same. You know you're doing better on your own. So don't buy in. Live right now. Yeah, just be yourself. It doesn't matter if it's good enough for someone else. Just take some time, little girl, you're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be alright. It just takes some time, little girl, you're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. Yeah.
All right, what did you think? Certainly a massive difference between the two mixes. My latest mix is way brighter and way punchier. But interestingly, my first mix has got way more low end. So what's the takeaway from this? So I kind of hate using this terminology, but this exercise has been a game changer for me, which feels like a total wank thing to say. But actually it's really opened my eyes to a few things. I did find it stressful mixing in an hour, but I can do it and get pretty good results. But the thing that I've really learned is that I am definitely going overboard, and I definitely have option paralysis. Both mixes were really interesting because I got the bulk of the work done in about half an hour, and I spent the last half an hour agonizing over what I did, making slight changes and really starting to doubt myself. But in the second mix, having more options, that actually ramped up massively. Like, I got really stressed out going like, oh, should I have done that? Should I take this off? So I definitely feel like I've learned something doing this. I'm definitely going way overboard with my mixing, and some of it sounds really cool and like I'm doing some really great work, but this has been super interesting because I can do good work with a limited palette of tools available. So I think the main lessons that I've learned is that I need to really just cut back and economize a bit. And instead of like relying on lots and lots of tricks and lots of toys, just actually using basic techniques and that be my starting point. I think the main thing that I've taken away from this is that I definitely prefer the sound of the SSL over the API. I thought the API channel strip sounded really, really good, but I was quite stressed using that, and it's probably just because I'm not using it all the time. I do like that channel strip plugin, I have used it loads, but the SSL is my go-to, and I think there's a good reason for that. I can work with it really, really quickly and get the sounds that I need out of it. So I think moving forward, I'm going to make a big adjustment to my template. Like a lot of mixers, I have a mix template, and what I tend to do is use that as the starting point for all of my mixes, and I am going to really slim that down. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the SSL channel strip on all the time. I'm going to have a mix bus that's a little bit slimmed down. I'm definitely going to knock back the amount of harmonic processing I'm using right from the start, and if I feel I need some harmonic excitement, then I know it's there. But I'm always starting with shitloads of it on, and I'm definitely going to stop doing that. Now for the second mix, to speed up the process, I actually ended up putting in my effects sends on every channel so that they were just there, just kind of much like a mixing desk. And that just meant rather than kind of like wasting time going into my bus menu and selecting the right bus, they were always there and they were always on. I just needed to click on them and turn them up to taste. I'm definitely going to do that every single time. I suppose what I am going to be doing here is making my mix template more like an analog desk, and I feel like that's going to really speed up my workflow. Having the channel strip that I like on every channel, the bus compression and the bus EQ and my master bus ready to go, but no harmonic distortion right from the offset. Gonna have my drum bus EQ and my drum bus compression ready to go, but again, no harmonic distortion, and that's going to be my starting point moving forward. And I'm weirdly really excited to do this. Again, I'm really just trying to work more like I've got an analog mixing board in front of me, which is how I kind of started out doing this. I feel like when I moved in the box, this is where this nightmare of like going down massive rabbit holes began. So I'm just going to strip the shit out of that and try and go back to basics and work a little bit more analog. It also makes me think that I could probably do with a control surface so that I've got that hands-on tactile feel that a console has. And of course that means more money, and of course we love spending money on toys. So I hope you found that interesting. I will see you next week. Cheers.